So here we have TeRRoR as the Incas, one of the quite high rated civs in my opinion. It's probably one of my favorites to play. It's kind of similar to the Italians in a way, where they both sort of share the same attribute of being jack of all trades, but Incas is the only one that's master of a lot, whereas Italians I feel master of not too much. They have good options all around, but nothing as astonishing as what Incas have, especially with the slingers. So Lojza over here with the Byzantines, we're just going to have a quick talk about their maps over here. His main gold is not so ideal, probably not that good, especially since he's against a civ that's probably going to trush. His second stone outside for that matter. He does have a nice safe main stone in the back though, and in the back he does have an extra gold. Second gold is all outside, yeah, both there. And nobody gets the extra berries. Looking inside of TeRRoR's base, we see both are pretty safe for deer, easy to push inside, nice safe main stone, safe second gold, safe extra gold, so both extras are accounted for, there's no extra golds out on the map, only seconds. His other second gold, his second stone, not ideal. Main stone probably also not that ideal. He's against Byzantines though. Byzantines can't really smush on this occasion though, so this will not come into play much until maybe much later game. Maybe if the Byzantine player decides to go crossbows, east or crossbow, that kind of thing. That might work, but the Incas, of course, they do have the eagles, and the amount of gold in this base is still pretty good. So TeRRoR has a nice and safe base, especially against the Byzantines when he's a meso civ that can't really be smushed. I'm kind of liking both maps at the moment. I'm thinking TeRRoR could probably trush, just knowing him. Maybe he might, maybe he won't. Trying to consider very safe play for the Incas against Byzantines. Byzantines can always open up with hand cannon a year later. A little bit of problem for the Incas. Incas, of course, they do have, you know, their own monks. They're not going to be ideal against Byzantine monks with atonement, because Incas do not have atonement. But, you know, it's still a good option they could definitely consider going. And also various things like they do still have fully upgraded Arbalast, which of course is a really nice option against things like hand cannoneer. And of course with those upgrades, fully upgraded skirms. Byzantines, of course, their infantry is not so great. They have nice spam halberdiers, but against a civ that has no cavalry, they're not going to be coming into play. So in that regard, I don't think we're going to see slingers either from the Inca player. Byzantine do have champions in case the Inca player does go eagles. So, you know, there's a slight chance, but I don't see the Inca player really planning against going eagles against Byzantines. I think Trush may actually do come into part here. I don't think we're really going to see Kamukes. It's possible, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. Maybe the Inca player is going to open eagles to try and take map control if he doesn't Trush. I can see that working as well. The Byzantine player might be crazy enough to try Trush, but I doubt it. Lojza is a pretty solid player. 4 inside deer is always great for any civ. I love having 4 inside safe deer. It just, you know, of course 4 is better than 3 by, you know, a noticeable margin. At the same time as it's just a big mental factor, and also saves a lot of time scouting. For example, if you had to push them from like, even if they were here, just inside, compared to just outside and you had to open the gate for them, you save so much time for your scouting, so pretty big fan of that. A lot of wolves on this side of the map, but they're all around the border, none really in the middle. I don't see any wolves at all in the middle, so we might have some crazy villager walking across the map strategies here. TeRRoR did build an extra house to get 35 pop, so obviously he's going to aim for more than 25 pop with Dark Age, or at least by the time he gets to Feudal Age. So maybe he's planning 25 plus 2 as he very often does with a lot of civs these days. Quick look at his build order, he's got 4 on wood, he's going for a second lumber camp at this point. Pushing in his deer, nice and enjoyable. Casual time. I'm kind of curious as to what population Lojza plans on clicking up with, because he's not going to do anything crazy like Fast Imp. Incas don't have that much of an economy bonus. It's pretty slight. It's nice, but it's pretty slight. So I would I would think Byzantines without any eco bonus might want to consider pushing. Maybe something like crossbows, hoping that he doesn't open eagles. Maybe something else. TeRRoR going for his famous 25+2, that only works because he has like 4 minutes of idle time build. That is of course my favourite of all time. See, 25+2, 23+... he has 4 seconds of idle time. That's actually pretty good for TeRRoR. Maybe he's been practicing because he does this build every single game. I've not seen too many of TeRRoR's recent games. This is, again, picking up where I left off last week. This is also now Sunday 21 GMT. This might be a permanent change of schedule. I'm actually quite enjoying streaming at this time because I have energy. I could actually put effort into these casts rather than Friday 23 GMT, which is, you know, soon after I get home from work and I don't have much energy left. Lojza going for 26+2, and he has more idle time than TeRRoR. Again, genuinely shocking. But, you know, gotta give credit where credit's due. I don't really see what he plans to do with this build, because this is a fairly simple build, boom build to be honest. This is more of a build you do if you just want to get up. This is a... I don't think he has anything really planned on the cards. Obviously we see no barracks from either player. So we're going to see how much each player puts on gold. Do we see 1 or maybe 2? Not entirely sure. One of them wants to switch into crossbows or something along that line. But of course, blacksmith markets, obviously. The thing with Meso is that they can build the barracks after blacksmith market and then go eagles. It's not like they have to build the racks preemptively. So... and here we go, there is TeRRoR clicking up with a nice TeRRoR. He didn't add more to gold. Does he just want to boom and get relics? I don't think he wants to do... yeah, he's not really got any plans to really invest in much, especially not like any siege or more than 1 monastery. Lojza going 4 on gold is a little bit of a stretch. I think maybe he wants to open with... he could open with double monastery with that. I feel he might. Double monastery opening is a bit of a killer, but I can actually get you a decent amount of relics. I've noticed recently as well that it just doesn't feel like eagles counter monks like they used to. I tend to get a lot more converts on my eagles, well, against eagles and on my own, whenever I'm using monks and eagles compared to what I remember them being. They don't seem to counter just as well. It's a bit odd. Decent amount of farms from Lojza here. He has a decent amount of wood though, so he could definitely still be able to afford 1 monastery, 1 TC or double monastery, but I would have probably cut back on a couple of farms just to make sure if he wants to do double monastery to add the second TC really quickly. Or if he just wanted to do neither, then he could, you know, monastery then 3 TC pretty fast behind it. He's moved to 3 on gold, so probably just 1 monastery. TeRRoR's up, so we're going to see a monastery TC. TC in the main goal, pretty safe. It's actually an okay position. I do prefer to place my things right up against, but again, if you place it on this side, then you are quite vulnerable to mangonels. If you place it here, they have to really break in first, so I can see why he would pick this position. Less able to harass. There's monastery TC. Where's the next TC? Looking over Lojza, yep, 1 TC, well, 1 monastery, 1 TC. Second TC coming off TeRRoR, so we're going to see 3 TC booms from both these players. At least I assume so. Something we could actually see is that if Lojza here just keeps adding villagers to gold and does 2 TC, he could do a 2 TC semi-fast imp. And that can actually be kind of devastating towards the Incas if you go hand cannon near bomber cannon. When you're Byzantines, it's actually a reasonable strategy to go, it's not superfluous. And it can fail, especially if you don't have a really good build. If you've seen the game of Stark vs Metal, where Stark was Malians and Metal was Celts, I believe it was a Arena Invitational game, if I'm not mistaken. That's where you can see that even Kelp Paladins managed to beat the Malian. 2TC fast imp sort of deal. Although that's Stark's build. We're seeing a third TC coming up now. A little bit less wood saved for the Byzantines compared to the Incas. Sanctity. That's... okay, Sanctity. Okay, if he has two monks grouped together, he could definitely convert an eagle, especially with Sanctity, so he might be able to nab this one. Then again, these scouts are going to be a problem. I think maybe he should wait until he manages to convert the eagle. If he converts the eagle, then he could easily just snipe that monk. But he's got this relic now, so it's no issue. I'm a little bit confused as to why Lojza is throwing away his advantage here. I don't think he's going to be able to make this. Oh, this is going to be a just if he does. Yeah, there we go. All he has to do is just delete this. Oh, that is unlucky. That's pretty unlucky for TeRRoR. Feels like I even saw this game live. I just remember that kind of event happening. No action really going on this side of the map. I'm just want to double check the player scoutings. Yeah, both have scouted their back base. TeRRoR though, his map scouting is just missing. He does have one relic, he must pick one up. Does he have any monks going to any of the others? Of course he doesn't know where the other two are. So TeRRoR's going to be behind 4 relics to 1. Lojza does know where they are. 4 relics is Byzantines pretty good, especially Byzantines are not that bad late game. They have a really good tech tree for that kind of thing. So, you know, without the eco bonus and, you know, upping to that imp quite early, then they do have quite strong imp in this case. I think hand cannoneers we might see here just because a lot of the options from Incas are a problem. Byzantines can up really, really fast if they, you know, because they have the cheaper up. As long as you plan the economy, you could do that. And then with the 3TC eco, you could do some fast HC-BBC, that kind of thing. I wouldn't go Arbalest against Incas, obviously since they can go the Eagles. I wouldn't worry about them too much, but it's a possibility. Don't really see what TeRRoR's plan is, although he is a little bit ahead in the economy. He is 5 villagers behind Lojza, but of course Lojza is only just now getting wheelbarrow. He's going to have handcart after, and that's going to bring him to, you know, pretty much the same spot. So they're pretty equal in the boom. Of course Lojza is, you know, sitting without wheelbarrow and handcart just a little bit longer, so he's going to have a bit less resources, but nothing major. Lojza producing a mangonel, of course he does have the map control because he does have 2 scouts. And also, he knows that TeRRoR has no monks left alive anyway. So he brings in his own monks, 2 or 3 monks, mixed in with just a little bit of siege. That can really force TeRRoR to try and react, especially if this part gets pushed here. Pretty unlucky gold here for TeRRoR. Now that Lojza is trying to push it now, but this is pretty late. He's already well into the boom. TeRRoR could be up soon if he wanted to be. Yeah, he's up as well as Lojza being up. Lojza is adding a university. Don't really know how much he decides to dedicate into this kind of thing, but Lojza bringing in the final relic. So Lojza is going to be, you know, pretty far ahead in this one. Racks coming up for the Inca player. He's producing eagles, okay. This is going to be spottable, and we see archer ranges already coming out, padded archer armor. Of course no fletching, bodkin or bracer to affect hand cannoneer, so you just go for the armor. Lojza is going to go for HC BBC in this case. TeRRoR now getting forging, he just wants to buff up his egos just a little bit. Let's just speed up a little bit on the way to imp. Both are still pretty solidly 3TC. I feel like Lojza just does not have... Because he does have the extra gold, it's okay, but it's not in a good position. So I feel like he really needs to press to the map, maybe add TCs here or something just to have a bit more security. That was a not ideal move from TeRRoR there, killing the Mangonel so easily. Oof. Oofed. Yeah. I think TeRRoR killing the Mangonel really exposed the Eagle, and HC is now just a given. I don't really see what Lojza is going to do while he waits though, because like if TeRRoR just dedicates into massing Eagles now, he could have 20 Eagles before by the time chemistry is even researched. So it's a bit dubious in this one. I think, you know, the ranges are a little bit in danger, but here we go, Lojza building in ranges further back. That's a really nice move. He's going to try and convert this Eagle if he manages to. Nice. This castle will go up, but with the Siege Workshop here to make bomber cannons out of, it's not going to stay up too long. Lojza's wood count must be pretty... That's pretty high actually. I would have considered it. It should have been pretty low in this case. I don't see TeRRoR making any buildings to switch into to be able to defeat the hand cannoneers. It would be quite cheap for him to add spears. His economy is pretty good. He's on 77 villagers. He is of course behind the Byzantine player in villager count. He's still 3 TC, I think he's just not been running them. This is a little bit of a problem because he has to really start massing up the hand cannoneers. He should be doing it from these back ranges mainly. I think he's going to be able to afford enough. No bomber cannon, in fact, there we go. Backseat workshops, a nice safe castle, that's going to be a really nice advantage. Are we going to see Trebs coming out now? Conscription first, okay. No complaints about conscription being first. And the castle is going to go down very, very soon. RIP the Eagles. I still don't understand why TeRRoR scouted all this and then persisted with the Eagles. Decided to add more racks. Right now he could just add a bunch of archery ranges and start dealing with this. Byzantines vs skirmishers, maybe they're not going to open with the best options against that. Their cavalry is not too great, their siege is mediocre. They don't have siege engineers, they only have onager, not siege onager, and also they do have siege ram, but no siege engineers. Puts it back a little bit, not too much. So, you know, Lojza may want to consider it, but... Oh, this is a move. This is some whole other kind of move here from Lojza. So where are the hand cannoneers pushing? Ah, over here. Nice. Oh, that's unlucky. So that castle's just going to go down. TeRRoR not going to notice, but... Oh, he almost led them in. Oh, TeRRoR. He noticed and then just stopped noticing. It's such a pain. More siege workshops coming out. What kind of siege are we going to see? I don't know, because we could see rams, we could see onagers. I think rams are just a little bit more likely. They're going to be a little bit more tanky against most of the units that could be made. Especially since they just absorb all the HC damage. Onagers can take a little bit longer to research. Rams are useful right away, sponges, but they're not too useful a bit later on. This gate's going to go down. Hand cannoneers are pretty strong. I also forgot to enable the chatbot, so I'm going to do that now. So we see a ram. Yeah, TeRRoR's going capped rams. That's probably the best option here. This castle might even go down. A couple of trebs, and there's not too many ways that they can be beat at this point. Oh, the castle's not going to go down. Actually, the trebs are too busy focusing on the BBC. That makes some more sense. A couple of cataphracts defending it here while the hand cannoneers there just taking out the blacksmith to be able to break in. One BBC going down, but there's more to go. And the eagles just aren't cutting. Yeah, the eagles just aren't cutting it. few HC in here and also a decent few out here. They're not going to kill the ram, obviously the ram should be able to do some damage. I think Lojza should probably take in some other siege. I mean, he can afford Onger, he's really full in the resources, but he's pretty low on pop. 110 vills, maybe 30 army. 37 military, yeah. Nice-ish move from TeRRoR, but I think he's going to lose this fight because obviously he is microing here quite well, Lojza. The Eagles are just going to go down the ram. The ram was a nice move, but not working. And TeRRoR calling the GG. I don't know where the chat bot disappeared off to. Quick double check. Yes, that works. Let's switch into the achievement tab. Total score. More for Lojza. Units killed, 20 more, and you gotta remember a lot more of those units were Eagles. Not too many hand cannoneers died, but you know, a decent little few. I can't really think of much else that died. A couple of BBCs, a couple of Trebs, some expensive losses. But they don't really compare to the amount of Eagles, and also TeRRoR did lose his fair share of Trebs. Decent amount more economy for Lojza. Lojza did seem to keep booming a lot longer than TeRRoR. TeRRoR seemed to delay making vills for a bit. They were pretty on par, and then he sort of fell behind 10 or 20 quite fast. More stone collected. I only ever saw the one castle though, he's repairing it quite a bit. He didn't make castles at home. TeRRoR with the faster times. He is Incas, he saves a little bit of wood. He can maybe add an extra farm here and there, have one less on wood, that kind of thing, just so you get up a little bit faster. A lot more relic gold for Lojza. That extra 1k makes a significant difference when you look at the economy statistics and you see he's got 700 more gold, well 600 more gold collected. Then, that's an extra 10%. Lojza hyped TeRRoR with 115, he did keep booming a bit. Lojza did lose, I can only think of one or two when he was repairing that bomber cannon, but yeah, the Eagles didn't do much raiding. At this point, TeRRoR lost all army during the Castle Age, which was just his scout. And, yeah. So I'm just going to enable the timer again. I'm going to be back in just a couple of minutes. And we are back. So let's just jump into this next game then. Save and record games. This one. Our spectator overlay does appear to be working. So we're just going to get into casting this one. The score currently is 1 for TeRRoR, 3 for Lojza. Over here we have TeRRoR as the Teutons. They are a top arena civ in a lot of players' opinion. They are top 3, easily. Some people would argue top 2, some people would argue top 5. But there is no real dispute that Teutons are one of the top arena civs, and they're pretty hard to beat for a lot of civilizations. So, you know, maybe TeRRoR will decide to play them well. This is a pretty nasty map. I hate it when bases don't collect the wood lines. In that case, the second stone's outside, and he only has this back wood line here. I do prefer to have the option of being on one side and the other side with my wood line separated. It just tends to work a lot better in a lot of situations. Because I also believe the game volume's a little bit low, I'm just going to turn this up. Let me know if this is a little bit too loud though. So TeRRoR's building his back wall there to get his 4 deer. That's going to save him a bit of time. His main stone is bad, his main gold is pretty safe, his second stone is bad, his second golds are outside. So I don't like TeRRoR's map too much. Having a safe main gold is nice and all, but if something happens that you need stone for, you know, you're kind of screwed. Over here we have the Portuguese. Portuguese are a quite nice arena civ. They're not quite bomb tier. They're definitely not as low as they are in Arabia. Main gold is pretty... It's in one of these awkward positions where the chances are it's not going to be aggressed just because you tend to, you know, go hit your opponent rather than pick a particular spot around the map to then hit them. But, you know, if TeRRoR does scout this, he may consider going over here, so... It's a moderate gold, it's a not so good gold, but not the worst gold. Very small back base here actually. TeRRoR has a smallish back base, it's enough. And obviously he could secure himself a little bit more. But this is not a very good back base here. Safe second stone though, main stone pretty bad. His forage bush over here is kind of not a nice one to put mill on. Well, it's an okay one to put mill on, I guess. If you put it there, you eat in from these two sides and then you finish on this one. Portuguese is an arena civ. As I said, they're pretty decent. They're not as bad as you may think. They're really strong when it comes to, against all civs other than Teutons. They're really strong if they want to go for monks, because they could easily do a decently fast up triple monastery build, because their monks, being 15% cheaper gold, they only cost 85 gold. As I said, Portuguese is not a bad civ. It's a pretty significant bonus. Helps if I look at the right tech tree as well. I was just looking at a fair stats there for some second. That's never going to be seen. So I'm not entirely sure what build I'm going to see here. He's not going to go monks against Teutons. It's also a really valid build against Always have to deny a random pyramid in chat. It's in my blood. But you can also see organ guns against a lot of civs that don't have redemption from Lojza here. But obviously Teutons are a good monk civ. If they have redemption, it's not going to work. Organ guns are really strong. They're like Janissaries that, you know, if you don't have redemption, you just physically can't convert them. They're very, very hard to stop. You can't just mass knights. You can't just even go crossbows. You can't really go monks if you don't have redemption. So, you know, they're pretty bad. They also kill mangonels. Similar range to mangonel, but they definitely tank them a little bit better than Janissaries, I think. And also you could still split with them and micro them. They're pretty equally slow moving units. So, you know, Portuguese have nice options, but when you're dealing with a really good monk civ, Portuguese are definitely going to be struggling. They can outmass most monk civs, but just simply the fact that Teutons will resist and then cover them back is a big issue for them. What can they go? I think maybe they could go along the lines of early crossbow, siege tower crossbow. Just use crossbows to open up for map control if they get 5 relics, and they could go for very many gold units, which can be quite devastating for the Teuton player. Their monks are still better, well, still good for late game in case they want to convert things like onagers if they want to go hand cannoneer, that kind of thing. So I do find Portuguese are going to be decent here, but yeah, it's not going to be too great. As long as they do get block printing, then, well, which they do, but as long as he does get block printing, then he'll still be okay to convert Onagers later game. If he does go things like hand cannoneer, they could go Halb, HC, BBC. Their hand cannoneers, bomb cannons, of course, being pretty high tier. Top tier is arguable, especially when you're considering things like either Turks with their other bonuses for it, or the Italians who have their own, you know, cheaper in general bonus for them. But Portuguese, they have the cheaper gold bonus as well as the Arquebus technology, which gives them sort of ballistics. It's not that accurate, but it definitely is a big improvement on their accuracy. It looks like we're going to see organ guns here, or maybe some kind of like Stefan Boom like castle defense type of deal, but I'm thinking maybe Lojza is thinking TeRRoR, not the best micro, maybe he might not be doing some good monks here. He might be sorely mistaken. TeRRoR, of course, going for his usual 25 plus 2. He has 10 more, 10 more seconds of idle time than he did last game. So, you know. 6 on wood, pretty low. Of course, Dunes save a lot of wood on farms when they do need to make them. He doesn't need to make them yet. He's going to make a couple, but I think... Yeah. I was going to say he's going to wait for horse color, but he doesn't really have to because he's Tunes, of course. I think he's only making this couple as well because he just can't get the deer in time. I don't really know what TeRRoR's going to go, but a smart play would be monks. Lojza, I'm not feeling the organ gun decision here. It'll work briefly, but when the monks come out, then I don't really see what he plans to do because they just can't fight redemption monks. Janissaries, sure, easily, but the range is probably the one thing holding them back against monks. TeRRoR going blacksmith market. Of course, he's up a lot faster. Three on gold, he's gonna go 4. 4 on gold, he's adding some extras to gold. He doesn't have many farms, you don't want to add too many farms if you want to go for a smash. So I feel TeRRoR's just gonna go monks. I'm quite happy these games have not been trash games. Speaking of relic positioning, this is pretty biased in terms of Lojza. This relic on the right, the 2 relics on the left. This one in the middle, a bit screwy, this one on the right, also a little bit dubious. But yeah, it's pretty much 3 for Lojza, 2-ish for TeRRoR, but this one's going to be in pretty disputed territory, so we're going to see what happens. Only 4 on stone from Lojza here. Oh, he's on the 5th one. This is a very simple 28 plus 2 into a castle drop build order. I don't know if he's going to plan to build it forward. He saw how fast TeRRoR was up, so I don't think he's going to risk it. Maybe he'll try and build it here, secure the golds. Yeah, TeRRoR's going to go monks. Instant double monster safe at home inside. That's a lot of villagers to help build this castle. And looks like Lojza has a hit ahead in the scout fight, which is quite good. So all the villagers... This is like some 17x HD game. This is pathetic. Of course he could build a castle here and then mining camp here. And TeRRoR does scout this, and TeRRoR's on much faster. He should have monks out by about now. They're already 8%. And Lojza, he does the smart thing, he walks home and builds it. He thought he could get away with it, but he just couldn't. So this castle's gonna go here. This gold's in pretty much jeopardy here because Lojza no longer secures this forward gold. TeRRoR's also about to get the relics. I also think TeRRoR's a bit annoyed that Lojza stole his colour. I think next game I will alt G just to make sure that Lojza is red. Perhaps. And one monk about to get sniped. Nice. So I've seen organ gums come out, but I don't think they're going to be useful. They just aren't. 2 TCs for Lojza, no, not 3. Tune player probably has another one, yeah. We're gonna see some 3 TC from TeRRoR. So double monster monks, and then he's gonna be heading the boom as well. Looking at villager count, he's 2 behind, but of course he's a TC ahead now, so he's gonna be fine. TeRRoR now getting redemption, so these are just gonna get converted, and that's gonna be it. Can't really be stopped after that point. This is a really dubious TC though. This can be damaged at the same time by mangonels without really being able to retaliate with your own mangonels inside. With these TCs, you usually place them 1 tile away from the wall. Thanks for the resub, Dr. Slow. The VO appreciates it. 1 organ done. And the 3 more taking over. Lojza might as well just delete these now. Oh, he's getting away with it. TeRRoR running away with the monks. Now what? Why did the monks come here? Did TeRRoR scout this? TeRRoR did scout this. He knows about these golds. He knows that gold are both Lojza's seconds because he knows his own second is there and there. Yeah. So TeRRoR should know that this has got to be the main gold, and if he just brings his monks here, pretty easy win. He hasn't scouted the castles there yet. Maybe he wants to assume it. 3 monsters now from TeRRoR. He can really defend with that. He's going to be spending all his gold on making monks, but of course this TC, while he's booming all that villagers and gold as well as all the relics he's about to pick up, that's going to be more than enough gold to support making monks. Lojza imping fast is the only way I could see him winning for this, but he is on 3 TC. He's kind of similar on the villager count there. But he has a castle with a bunch of useless units against units that will take them over. TeRRoR's position here is just a lot stronger. Oh yeah, this is Swallow Kingdoms, you can't see dead wolves through the fog anymore. Lojza must have scouted this. Is TeRRoR gonna get away with? Getting away with that, that's crazy. But all the monks coming over, so if he does lose it, he's still got the free organ gun converts. Hopefully Lojza's not making any more of these. Yeah, good. Lojza going to go mass light cav, maybe? Yeah, he's going to go light cav. He's already on the way up to imp, so it's not going to damage him all too much. Castle coming up for TeRRoR. TeRRoR is going to be slightly faster up to imp. Are we going to see Siege Workshop here? No, Universe Ace is going to go Gunpowder and then probably HCBBC. Maybe he's going to make Skirms. Skirms might make a little bit of sense here, especially on top of the light cav. I think maybe he wants to get his that's a lot of stone. Oh, Rip Bills. Yikes. I think he probably should want to get a Siege Workshop. TeRRoR's getting chemistry first, Lojza just getting 2-man saw, no upgrades for anything really. It's a bit surprising. He's sneaking out his light cover in the back, maybe he wants to pin some movement this a little bit later. I don't see what he could do to fight this though. I mean, he's about to probably win out in the Treb war, because he's only slightly there with the Treb and he's going to have more out. Something I have noticed from TeRRoR is that he's really alert when it comes to repairing his trebuchets. So Trebbing them is never actually that good of an idea. He always keeps villagers nearby and will always repair them. Lojza still no chemistry, so he's not going to have bomber cannons to help him out in this fight, which I think would be pretty crucial. He could lose them, but if he has enough light cav, if he has enough skirmishers, if he has enough to really just force TeRRoR into trying to get monks to convert the BBC, he could have the units that could win this fight. Oh, and the light cav are gone. I think Lojza has really lost the plot here. He is massively ahead in the Treb war, but he's going to have to repair this castle like mad. This castle must stay alive. This one would be okay, but this one is a little bit better in terms of position that it's saving. So I think if this castle stays alive, then the monks are not going to do as much. More trebuchets coming out though, faster than TeRRoR can kill them, because TeRRoR of course is, as I said, he pays a lot of attention to keeping his things up to date, keeping everything repaired. Organ guns coming out now. Organ guns are just going to get converted. He's going to try and move them back, force the monks into the range of the castles, but no light cap's coming out. Light cap's going to get converted, I guarantee it. Yeah, there wasn't too much micro there. Lojza's GG should be coming soon. I don't really see how he can recover this. He is 13 vills ahead at the moment. But it's an open and shut case really. When you get students, it's pretty hard to win this one. He needs to just pack and move out these trebs. He's not going to get... Oh, he got the bomber cannon, surprising. Is he just going to mass trebs and now just like infinitely kill bomber cannons, trebs and monks? That would be interesting. More stables? Okay, he's trying to amass a lot more light cap, but I don't think he's going to have enough to win this fight. He's going to need a lot more. Now his other castle is down, he is down with the population. He needs to just quickly bring over a villager, build a house, or quick wall that. If he could do that, he just forces like an extra 20 seconds of useless fighting off. Yeah, needs spam more houses. He's waiting to get a castle. He seems to be saving up for it and going hard on that one stone, so maybe he wants to get Arquebus a little bit later. Arquebus could definitely have helped him here. That's a decent amount of light cav. It's not enough to take this fight, but it's a decent amount. I don't really agree with getting the armor. Of course they're going to die fighting under the castles, but they're just not going to stack the monks as fast if they don't have the attack upgrades. Chemistry now coming up for Lojza. He's probably going to go for bomber cannons and get a castle here maybe? I like it that Lojza is now expanding out in this direction. Of course the extras are over here, so that's a bit of a problem for him. He has no golds if he wants to expand, and his main gold's about to run out. He's relying on the second one, which he doesn't even have a castle to secure. So I think maybe adding TCs or something out in this direction might help him a bit better. And that's a lot of light cap, that could be enough. Pikemen only just now coming in for TeRRoR. And he's going for outside. Why? That's not good. I reckon he could genuinely try and win this fight if he took it on with light caps right now. More pikemen coming in for TeRRoR though. TeRRoR just having the chance to add more pikes, even researching Help of the Year. That's pretty much it for Lojza. Lojza's now slightly behind in the vills, not a lot, but enough. These monks still have block printing, and I'm assuming they do have illumination. Yeah, the Hub of the Year is now what's going to happen. These skirms, are they going to be enough? Well, they do have chemistry, they do have razor. I reckon... Oh. Possibly these bomb cannons could get cleaned up, but the Hub of the Years are just going to do too much damage. Are we just going to see full skirm coming here for Lojza? Which might not really work for him, I don't think. TeRRoR losing a decent amount of villagers here though. He does have his monks garrisoned, but he's only got about 6 remaining. He's starting to lose his hulks. He's losing bomber cannon. Oh, that's pretty devastating for TeRRoR. He did lose his forward, so both players seem to be on kind of an equal footing. There's the castle from Lojza. Get Arquebus, get BBC out. They're going to be your siege when you really run out of castles, because this one's not going to last. Starting to see Mangonel coming out for TeRRoR. Is he probably going to aim for Oranger? He's got enough siege workshops here to really warrant getting Oranger and just start making a bunch of them. And then go maybe Hub Oranger might work. And then there's some random petard that just got made is going to explode a... Or not. Okay. That was weird. These mangonels are going to get cleaned up, but they're about to come Oranger, so that's going to be a little bit of a different story. Not enough light cap here to really make the difference. Military counts, Lojza is behind by 10, and a lot of these are actually decently strong units, like 3 Onagers, 2 Trebs, now 4 Onagers and a good few monks, so that's going to be quite hard for him to be back TeRROR's units. TeRROR's now really masking the military. Yeah, there we go, 40 military to 16, just GG called. Would have liked to see Arquebus bomber cannons, but you don't always get your dream. I'm a bit surprised at how he played this. He did boom decently well, better than TeRRoR behind the units that the forward that he did have when he went for the castle is, you know, compared to the monster opening that TeRRoR went for. But you know, it's going to be pretty hard for him to do something like beat the triple monster monks from the Teutons. That's a pretty hard thing to beat. Quick look at the achievements. Military stats, 110 units killed for TeRRoR, 124 lost for Lojza. These amount converts, 15 converts. He did lose 98 units, and actually a decent few of those were expensive units. Not too many of those were halberdiers, a lot of those were monks. A good few were his own converted units though, so it's not that big of an issue. Good few bomber cannons as well. TeRRoR did probably lost more value in units. But of course Lojza did have to spend all his food economy on light cav, which did really cost him. He had the better boom, but of course he's miles behind in the gold collection. TeRRoR did take all the extra golds as well. Imperial time as well, noticeably stronger for TeRRoR. That tune booming is really nice. He also had a decent opening time. I think Lojza's unlucky factor there was when he wanted to build that forward castle to be able to secure that second gold perhaps, which would have been really nice for him, especially to keep the fight away from his base. I think if he didn't get scouted by TeRRoR, that could have gone up and that could have been devastating. Yeah, 3.5k relic gold, and he didn't invest more than just making monks to attack anyway. So again, I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes. So I'll Okay, so we are back. Sorry if I took a minute to turn on the waiting screen music and things there. I was taking a phone call, so I had to quickly jump off there. So let's just get into this last game that we're going to be casting today. We are currently on either a TeRRoR equalizer, so we're going to see 3-3 and we might see more games next time. Or we're going to see Lojza win 4-2, so stay tuned for the results. Jumping into this game, we're going to see Jon Slow as the Celts, Lojza as the Britons. This is a classic matchup. This is almost like Goths versus Mayans. Looking at this base, I immediately just noticed that they are pretty close and there's a lot of open map. Both players also have reasonable sized back bases, so let's have a quick look at this in a little bit more detail. Over here we have, oh, that's an extra bit of base there, it's quite nice. Over here we have TeRRoR as Celts. His base here is incredible, 2nd gold. It's not the safest, but it's also not forward, so you know, it's an okay gold, it's one of those okay ones. This gold I would describe as pretty safe. He has gold safe 1 second and 1 extra gold. So that's really nice for him, having those extra resources there, pretty untouchable. And also especially since he has this little loop here. So more often than not, he's not going to be aggressed here, they're not going to push into this area here, they're going to push into this area here, which is quite a long ways away. So he has a lot of safe map right now. Only 3 deer, but inside deer again, nice to push. I quite like this map of TeRRoR here, especially as Celts. He does have a safe-ish main stone, pretty safe even considering this. So, you know, I think he's gonna have a hell of a time. Over here, Lojza as the Brits, main stone maybe not the greatest, but 2nd stone pretty safe. It's still safe enough. It's forward and in reach here, but of course Celts are not going to be going for those kinds of ranged units, so I don't see why we'd have a problem with that. Main gold, not a good main gold because this is just going to be a pain in the ass to take. You're not going to get a good mining camp on that, take the villages away. The best you could really do is like stick it here across these 4 tiles. Then you've got a 1 tile gap for most of it, and then 2 tile after that if you don't notice and delete it. So it's safe main gold, but not a good one, if you know what I mean. Oh, that must have been really close. 2nd gold, not so good. Other 2nd gold outside. 3 deer again, but inside easy to push. Always a good mental factor, and of course there's a little bit more scouting after that if you manage to push in your deer early. Always a benefit. So a decent amount of back base, definitely more so for Lojza here. But his resources are just not as good. I think maybe he might even try to take the 2nd gold and then just TC this later on. That might be the best option actually, come think of it. Nobody has the extra berries. Where is the other extra gold then if TeRRoR only has 1? Maybe I'm blind by not spotting it. Oh, we have a bugged relic over here. At this point I would say bug map free. I am pretty curious though, I don't know where that extra gold is. There's always 2 extra golds on arena. Either I am blind or it is bugged. Each player has 2 seconds and just in a 2-player map size there are 2. But this is the last game I'm going to be casting today, Ultra, so it's going to be either 3-3 score or a 4-2 win for Lojza. If it is a draw, I will be casting more games from these players next time until we have a conclusive win when these players decide to stop bashing each other. This is a continuation from last stream where I casted 3 of these games, 1 or 2 with Kokester, Guy Seongyong, Joshua, whatever he's called. So, yeah. After this game, I'll be hosting community. What are you doing, TeRRoR? Oh, so bad. At least it's the 2nd boar. Anyway, looking over the build here, I'm not entirely sure what Brits are going to do against Celts. The thing is, Celts have a decent booming bonus and their defense is pretty decent early on, especially with their faster mangonels. They're kind of weakish to monks in that early stage, but that's about it. Britons, of course, they are one of the strongest civs and they can push really, really easily. It's really hard to beat things like, you know, 1 TC longbow, some sort of like semi-fast imp longbows because of the extra range power spike. So I'm thinking we might see something like that just because the Kettle player, they need to get quite a bit later game. Their boom is okay, but it's not the best. It's not as good as Britain's anyway. And they're going to kind of struggle early on. So, you know, if Lojza puts on the pressure as Britain's early on, even Siege Tower Crossbow, that could be really nice. They do snipe the mangonels quite well. Then, oh, we see something different here then. Then the Kettle player is definitely going to struggle and just not get to the late game where they're going to win. TeRRoR is going to Trush. He is going for a 21 pop. He's got 4 on stone, 4 on wood. 4 on berries, and he's sending 5 ahead to Trush in the wrong direction. Maybe TeRRoR just didn't know where he was and then just decided to start going. Okay, this is happening. So what is Lojza going to do? Lojza is up kind of late as Britain's. He must have some kind of special plan here. That's a decent amount of wood, so maybe he wants to get a racks on the way up. Yeah, if he does get racks on the way up, we're going to see crossbow here, that kind of thing. He's going for a tower hop, it appears to be. And Lojza has villagers kind of decently far away, to be honest. We see a market coming up. 180 HP, that can be destroyed quite easily by these 4 villagers. I reckon that's doable. Before that the tower can go up. Except the villagers just don't want the path. The problem is this is going to go up, this villager is going to be lost but there's no loom. But this wall is up and there's nothing that TeRRoR can do about it. That's always a nice way to stop it. Losing a villager in Trush, obviously not ideal, but if you lose one, it's not huge. Especially if you stop the push. Another tower coming up here from TeRRoR. Yeah, fair enough. TeRRoR's going to try break in anywhere within the range of this tower. 1, 2, 3. I think after fletching these will be in range. I think. It's always hard to judge diagonals, but I'm pretty sure that... No, they're in range before fletching. TeRRoR destroying the palisade to hop in. Nice. Blacksmith coming up here from Lojza. He wants to get that fletching. He has decided to keep a decent bit of food. He's not spending too much food and didn't really destroy his farm economy too much. So now he's just going to quickly wall this in. If he walls this in, then any villager here is going to be forced to walk into their tower. Lojza still has these villagers nearby, which is always going to be nice for him just to keep him garrisoned if he has to. But he has no wall in front of this tower. He didn't build quick houses here or anything to really protect it from a villager rush. So I can see that being a bit of an obstacle. Fletching for both players. Neither player can really repair their towers without being in range of the tower. 4 on stone now from Lojza. He's just going to want to build another tower. If I was him, I would just build it here, you know, just outside of range. Who watches only? I do. Yeah, I don't see what TeRRoR's going to do here. Of course, he is villagers behind. We do have loom for Lojza as well. TeRRoR does tend to idle for as many villagers as he is ahead. TeRRoR trying to build a house there just to give himself more room to attack this. But the pathing here is going to screw him here, I think. Yep, there we go. TeRRoR brought forth a lot more villagers. There's now 9 villagers inside of Lojza's base. Lojza needs to repair this with a little bit more villagers just so he can get this tower up in time. I think I would pull off this farm economy just to get in here because I think he needs to win this fight. If he can win it, then he's got a nice secure win. Quick palisade gate. A stone gate, that'll do. That'll do. And we're going to see villager losses. So they're pretty equal at the moment. Of course, TeRRoR has a lot more villager losses, but yeah. TeRRoR not getting wheelbarrow. Lojza still has the decent resources. He still has enough to click up if he chooses to. So, you know, I'm decently happy with this in terms of Lojza's point of view. Market coming up, he's going to be able to click up. Is he going to go longbows? I reckon he could go longbows. He could easily just fight this back if he makes, you know, like 1 ram, couple of longbows. Start pushing this way. He's quite heavy on stone 4 and stone 2 counter trush. I mean, you want to move those off now. Oh, but TeRRoR is just going to keep going for it. And Lojza's just not having it. Not really sure what's going to happen on here, but I do think that this tower is going to stay up. At least they're going to try having a repair war over this. And there we go, Lojza's up. TeRRoR is whipping out his balls in this case. He's going for the very ballsy towers. I don't feel a lot of arena players over at the Trushes. I see it quite a lot, but then again I also see trushing just done wrong a lot, so not a big fan of trushing on arena in general, but there we go, more on stone. I think Lojza is actually playing this one really well. Just add a couple more stone from the wood. He is okay-ish for amount of villagers on wood. So yeah, I think longbows here is a smart enough decision, especially since there's no point where TeRRoR can really break in anymore. He'll probably try and break in here, but just one tower or maybe even the castle, because he's going to be up quite soon. Looking at back base, Lojza does have a lot of back base here, so that's quite good for him. You always need a lot of back base if you're going to be trushed and you're trying to play this kind of defensive manner rather than trying to push back quite early. For example, upping really fast and then going siege workshop rather than trying to delay feudal, affect it a bit more, and then just try and do what you're doing here with the castle or something. So this tower is going to go up, and it's gonna be questionable, but it's going to siege workshop. Yep. This castle doesn't have to stay up and it doesn't have to stay strong. Fletching is not coming in for Lojza. It's not really needed, but it'd be nice if you had it. So I'm a little bit confused here. We're not seeing... He is going to go for the siege, but we're not seeing anything on top of that. It feels like he should have a little bit more wood than he does. Maybe he went quite heavy on the stone and should have a castle by now, but just doesn't. I'm starting to think that investing in this tower here was not the best idea for him. He does have 5 builds compared to 4. No, both have 5. Here we go, tower's gonna go down. I would personally move this mangonel just forward a little bit more and just tag around here, but I'm not sure what the most OP combination would be, because you have to consider things like just feel good things, like having Mongols, for example, is really nice team bonus. It's not going to help you out in gameplay at all in terms of, you know, you're going to scout anyway, but if you do it early it just feels nicer, it's a lot easier for you to do. But when you're talking about maps like this, closed maps, the extra scouting you're not going to have done by the time you're being aggressive anyway. It's not going to be nice. Tunes is always a top team bonus. If we're talking maps like Arena especially, then yeah, Tunes right up there. I'm not entirely sure why Dragonstar's whipping out the Incas, because, you know, that extra 2 food is not exactly OP per farm, but yeah. Our TC go up, we're going to see a 3 TC boom here from Lojza, and he's going to have a castle defense really quickly. This is Stefan-like play, is the way I would describe it. And he's 8 villagers ahead. What are we going to see from TeRRoR? TeRRoR can't even imp that fast. If he was still on stone, he'd be able to build a castle and then imp fast and tread, but that's going to be useless. June's, their conversion bonus is really nice though, as well as just having cheaper farms of their own than the Chinese farms. It's really nice. Slavs do have a really nice bonus, personally, because Slavs are Yes, it's like a free house for the military buildings. It's better in Arabia, not as much in Arena, but it's a nice thing. Thumbnail boy showed up. Yeah, I don't think you'll get any good ones for this one, but you know, you never know. How are you doing? And on that note, how's anyone in chat doing? I tend to forget to ask when I see people. I don't know what TeRRoR's plan's going to be. He's going to try like Rams? His own Mangonels, okay. He sees the castles up, but he's going to try and make the Mangonel anyway. Maybe he wants to just defend in case he gets hit at home with the mangoes. And his own TC, he's already got a second one. So he's 16 villagers behind and he's not going to really make it. The Brim Boom here is going to win out at the same time as the Brim player can be aggressive and will be. I have no idea what GPN stands for personally. Just saying. TeRRoR going to pick up the relics here. It makes a little bit of sense. You want to pick up the relics here first castle, but you know, when you're kind of like enclosed by towers, you might want to, you know, consider that one a bit. Scorpion against Lombos. I mean, they do have Bodkin, so it's not going to even reach still. I don't think the kill player can really fight the Lombos right now unless TeRRoR just massed Rams, like if he went 2 Siege Workshops and then instead of like booming. 2 Siege Workshop Rams just came in here, just wrecked stuff. I think that would have worked. Obviously, Lojza's not going to really dedicate too much into Mangonels. Welcome Noxious, how's it going? Looking at the population, TeRRoR's pop is just so bad. He is 16 villagers behind at the same time as military behind. We're going to see these, what are they, 8 range? 8 range longbowmen just coming over here. The monks are not even going to stand that much of a chance. This is not live Bonnie. I just don't really know what TeRRoR plans to do. He has the much better late game save, so the longer this goes on, the better chance he does have. But the thing is, he is behind in the boom and he's not really doing anything to keep up. He may want to even add another TC just to be able to force himself to have the fully boomed, you know, like around 110, 120 pop villager numbers. They start, you know, focusing on mass military from. As I said though, I would have probably just massed Rams. That's kind of my go-to if this is things have gone this badly. Speaking of which, Lojza is bad on the gold. He's still only got the main gold here, which can't get that many villagers around. And of course his only golds are out here and here. He has scouted this with Longbowman. He's about to go there with the monk, so he knows he could actually start taking this one. I think maybe he should. It might be good if he goes out, TCs that, you know, he could have a nice bit of aggression here. He's still taking stone decently heavy though. He could even, he's about to buy himself imp, I believe. If he doesn't, then he'll just let it happen naturally. A little bit later, but still fine. I don't really see where he plans to spend this wood though. He's not going to go too heavily into the siege. Yeah, there he goes. He sold some wood to be able to click up. Now what? He's going to be able to build a second castle. He probably wants to consider building it forward. Double racks against Celts. What? Does he want to go champions? Was he expecting just like one castle world raiders? I guess that makes sense. TeRRoR has not done all too much. He hasn't really made any siege or anything along those lines to really, you know, make Lojza think he's doing anything other than building a castle with the stone he mined. So no, if he does go champs, he could beat boats, but then he decides not to, and he goes with the ranged alternatives, which are, you know, the better option here, I believe. Economy-wise, things are looking pretty similar. The Scorpions did clean up the Longbowmen, but not after a few villagers died. TeRRoR now imping. No, he's going... Is he really going to go champ line? There's nothing worse than nothing maps. Then again, this is not T90 stream, so you can expect quality here, not just like shouting and bawling over like one mangonel killing 4 archers. I tend to react to things that actually happen rather than things that just like are casual everyday game things. So castle coming here, and TeRRoR is coming forward. What is he planning to build? He's planning to build siege workshops right in the same place, so this castle is about to get stopped. I quite like this. I mean, look at the economy wise, we're looking at 97 vills to 81. I think the Brit player could definitely go with the champion line here and still, you know, afford it. Not the best, but, you know, still afford it. I like the idea, though he's going to be against Scorpions. TeRRoR's not going to have Pure Celtica or anything along those lines, so... A couple of these going to get converted. Not much more on the way, so I don't think these villagers are going to get this castle up easily. Oh, and the siege coming in, yeah, this castle is going to be denied. Where are the longbows? Non-existent. I think if he splits these well, he could destroy the Scorpions. Yikes. But here comes the Scorpions and here comes the Mangonellis. More villagers coming forward. 200 swordsmen already in. I think that's going to be strong enough here to really take this fight and be able to regain this castle. TeRRoR imping a lot later, of course champion already coming in for Lojza. TeRRoR managed to get his stereotypical green back. Lojza did steal it last game. Castle coming up to kill player. A trip is up from Lojza and another one coming, so if he remembers to pack this one up because he's already destroyed the siege workshop, then he could really get a big edge on this castle and just kill it. No, he doesn't know it's there yet. He's about to. Lojza now taking this gold and he is trapping this tower just to regain this one. Fairly simple. He lost map control, so he's going to get it. That's a lot of siege workshop, but we're going to see some mass rams here. He's going capped ram. Yeah, this definitely makes more sense for the champion. He's not making a treb, he's going to make a petard because he is a legend. What? Oh, he has two petards. He's just going to break in over here. That makes sense. Even if this castle goes down, he's not going to go longbows here anyway. Kel Siege only wins if he goes Scorpions. And he did. He went heavy Scorpions, but he needs Rams at the same time. Although, to be fair, this is a lot of champions. We're looking at 31 military to 7. And yeah, this is more than enough champions to really deal with a small number of both Rams and at the same time. And TeRRoR scouts this, but he doesn't get it. And that's looking pretty GG for him. He's going to take this castle down, but he doesn't have a single wall raider or anything to do much else after that castle go down. What's the point? And here we go, TeRRoR's economy being raided by champions. Of course, not exactly the best raiding unit, but they're pretty strong. Kel Siege is a pretty good siege. It's arguably first. It just depends on your situation. Like, for example, in some situations I do find Mongol faster siege, like their Ondras, a bit earlier in the game. I find those to be really useful when they have the troll. I also find Koreans to be just a little bit better. Korean SO vs Kel SO, of course the Kel Ondras will survive an extra hit, 2 instead of 1, which is huge. But Korean Ondras are actually quite hard to hit in comparison, so... Yeah, here we go. Of course no Pure Celtica from here, no castle either, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. So, looks like we are on the finisher of a 2-4 score for 2 TeRRoR for Lojza. Yeah, champion's a really nice unit for most civs. And yes, I did. So the plan now is to maybe host some community games. But I'm gonna have quite a little achievement first. Military stats, a lot more loss for TeRRoR, and there's actually a lot of villagers in those units lost. like early, I mean, and then later, of course, when that TC went down, all those villagers, but definitely early, a lot of villagers lost. That's a big contributing factor to that one. It then didn't really boom, really reboom as well, so lots of every resource collected more by Lojza. He didn't get any relics in the end, did he? I managed to pick up one. Oh yeah, the one that was next to the second gold on the left there. Chief TeRRoR has a little bit more relic gold, but of course he just didn't boom as well. I have casted a couple 4v4 games on Vibly Official so far. They tend not to happen though, like just, it's the least played game I've ever seen is 4v4 Arena, so. So that appears to be that. So I'm going to host a game room in case anyone wants to join. It's called Vibly Official Community Games. It's going to be set as obviously unrated. And it's going to be Willow Kingdoms. It is game 45 if you want to join. I'm just going to disable the scoreboard here. And also let me just quickly hop back over here because I'm going to forget about it if I don't. And I'll be playing in this one, so. If you want to join game 45, it's going to be either human vs human if we have 6 to 8 players. If we only have maybe 4 players, then we could do something like, you know, 4v4 Barbarian, that kind of thing. Barbarian's fun to play. If you're of any level, just come and join game 45. Where is my cover? There it is. I need to find a better solution for that. Now I just have like text covering my webcam offline screen. This is probably going to be along the lines of random land map. I do like random land map myself. I'm also a big fan of things like obviously Arena, but Hideout if we have it. I think I do have size Hideout. I did have Melkor and Stark. No, Melkor plus Timo vs VH plus Miguel. I had them play on a Hideout. I don't remember the size though. I'm not a big fan of the various mods myself. Realms mod I do like. I think if there was a different person promoting Realms mod, then it could definitely go a bit further. And if it did go a bit further at the same time as that would lead to, you know, a bit more people playing it, then, you know, more people playing it, more balance would be decided. It'd get a bit more balance, more people want to play it. So I think if you get the ball rolling on that one, but it just doesn't have the right person representing it right now, I don't feel. But yeah, I am a personal fan of the Realms mod, and if it did get bigger, I would definitely say you would probably see it here. So whip out the old background music. I think I'm just going to put my foot down inside on a specific map, Hideout. It's a pretty fun map for everyone to play. If you haven't played Hideout, it's basically a wood line in the center of the map, and each player spawn off that wood line. So your back base is in the wood line, the front base is like facing outside. It's a pretty nice map. You do start with palisade walls, so I think I do have a version where you don't have the palisade walls. I'm not sure which is which. Anyway, come join game 45 if you want to play. That said, if we have only a few players, we could always do human vs AI, which is fun when you've got Barbarian, but we're gonna see how it goes. I'm also not sure how Barbarian treats Hideout, if it treats it as an arena map or if it treats it as an open map. Yeah, it's Metropolis has the 3TC and Budapest has the 2TC. Metropolis is a bit weird though, you can just scout rush in Dark Age, it's quite fun, and then like no one can stop it because no one can pay attention to that many TCs. Let me just remember to bump up the room size to 8 players, that would be, you know, making a little bit more sense. I believe Metropolis has a large amount of water in the middle. If anyone would like to also play Arena, we could always do something like 2v2 Barbarian, because I could play Arena quite now. I would be decently, you know, happy to. But of course, we could always have a community game Hideout. It feels like with everything on today, the NEC2 final especially, I believe we had... I believe Stark was playing in ECL qualifiers earlier today as well. Not qualifiers, one of the 1v1 matches. So I think the viewership's pretty divided all over today. So we don't have too many people here, but... I never play water maps. I never touch them with a 20-foot barge pole. We do have Haiti playing game 225, so worst comes to worst, we could always go do a live cast. We also have Dobbs playing, but who the hell wants to watch Dobbs? HT right now is VSing a 1690, so it's gonna be fun. Let's make a copy pasta. Just double check to make sure these are all accurate. As I said, absolutely anyone is welcome. I love this profile picture. I don't know if I'll ever change it in my entire life. I think it's just going to remain that. Dobbs is waiting in game 42, maybe he's not playing. I could always invite Dobbs to this game, we could do some random 2v2s. Dobbs is responding like a cardiac arrest sufferer, so I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. Nearly sitting with the room open, advertising something that's not currently run. Let's have a quick rehost. I feel it's a little bit of a flaw with this rank, but we're gonna have a quick look at it. Dobbs is not playing. Oh, that's one interesting text I didn't realize I had. Let's just edit this. Now the whole screen's just going to be yellow text. Does anyone know whose main account is Vina Delmar? They have an AK of 2K4, 2460 AK, 2K1 TG ring. Oh, that's not going to be hard to find. Visibly top 5 RMTG. Huh, why does that not take me to the leaderboard? I do need to play more 1v1s on my own account, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that on stream. I can always host a 1v1 and we can see how that happens, but I don't think that's going to be the case. How do I view the RMTG leaderboard? There we go. Error only has a 2K 1v1. I'll keep Hera. Actually, not Error. I don't know Hera's current 1v1 rating. It's not Hera. Interesting, spending most of my time figuring out who Smurfs who's. It's just weird because Haiti right now is VSing a random 16x player, so I don't really know why he's doing that in a 1v1 arena 19+. I would probably personally call that point trading. I'm also going to disable join the specs, so everyone can join as they wish. I have returned. Well, we have one player in the lobby, that's something, I guess. I think we'll transition on to probably trying to cast a live game, because community games don't seem to be happening at the moment. As I said, I think we're quite low viewers today. At peak we had about 50. It's pretty good when we're at that point consistently, but if that's just the peak, and most of the time it's, you know, 20 viewers, it's not the best. I think we're losing a lot of attention because I never usually stream at this time. This is now the spot I'm always going to be streaming at, because I just can't be bothered streaming after work on Fridays anymore. So it's a lot better for me to stream at the time I chose to tonight. So my feeling is, yeah, also because every other event happening today, sort of, if you try and schedule anything like a stream on a day where both an ECL 1v1 match are happening and then C2 final, then you're going to have a bit of trouble getting viewers. I do love this rank. So I believe Haiti is now out of game. No, he's just started again. Wow. Just genuinely can't believe this guy. Well, we do like to collaborate with other streamers when we can. Like if any streamer reached out to us and asked if they can co-cast where we stream and then they stream their point of view of the same thing, then we are completely open to that. My usual go-to for arena is Joshua Gaiseong, but he is not around tonight, it seems. And I've not seen too many people online. Sort of Lawrence is online, but he is demonstrating Capture Rage, and he has his own thing. Juku Jack is of course a good streamer, but he's in French, so I would be a little bit wary of that. I don't have a problem if his English is fluent, but he prefers to stream in French and his audience is going to be French, so they might not benefit too much and he might not want to do it if it's going to be an English stream. Seriously, Haiti's still playing with this guy? Dobbs is up and about. So I just asked Dobbs if he wants to come around and we could do 2v2 hardest AI. The hardest barbarian, because hardest barbarian is a pain in the ass to deal with normally. In 1v1 I would say if you are 18x, 19x you could probably beat it, you know, 8 games and lose, you know, 2 out of 10. It's does have some like specific strategies in case, you know, like most games you can tend to beat it just as normal gameplay, but it'll just have the occasional spike of power. Like it will just spam monks and have the impossible AI monk micro and you just can't ever beat that. It'll have that kind of thing. So, you know, it's pretty tough opponent. But in things like 2v2s, it's pretty OP.